What's going on? You are listening to the Risen Howard podcast featuring yours truly, Risen Howard, the Great Poop Pong. The day is June 3rd, 2017. We are broadcasting live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, US of A. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the humans of the world. Risen Howard is the name, and loving humanity is my game. This is my second podcast, as I've said, and thank you for listening if you are listening to it. Should be a pretty good one, man. I got some deep stuff, at least I think, to talk about. So let's get into it. First, I got some shows coming up with Astral Sub Astral. I am a bass player for that band. June 8th at Frank's Power Plant. This is the first of 3 shows that will be premiering the Distances CD that's coming out. It's a 4-track EP by the band. So June 8th at Frank's Power Plant. I believe that show starts at 8 o'clock. June 15th, River West Public House. This is the second show of the 3-part series. And then we got June 22nd at the Revel Bar. All of these are evening shows. And if you want to get the specifics of it, you can either go to my first podcast. I got, all the times and stuff laid out there. Or you can go to Astral Sub Astral's band page on Facebook, and got all the, event invites and all that kind of stuff. And I do have to apologize in advance. I'm going to be drinking water during this podcast. I got the Rock and Soul Run coming up on June 10th. I'm trying to, make sure I don't embarrass myself or hurt myself. I'm going to do the quarter marathon. I'm going to do the quo, 6.5 miles. I'll try to do that right. I'm trying to get out there like Rocky or something like that. So, hey, wish me luck. Next thing I want to get into, there's a young artist in the Milwaukee area. He's from the Milwaukee area. I believe he lives in Las Vegas at the moment, but that's neither here nor there. His name is AR Wesley, and he's got a really cool write-up on breakingandentering.net. It's a online magazine, and he's premiering one of his singles called Motion, and Breaking and Entering did a real good write-up of it, and it's just a really cool article. And dude is such a cool artist. Just the stuff he does is really cool, and he's a really nice dude, so that's really just awesome. I got a little snippet of it, or actually I don't, because I didn't want to mess up the sound quality. So AR, when you listen to this, man, hey, send me some of your tracks, email them to me or something like that. I can convert them and all that kind of stuff, and I'd rather convert the tracks as opposed to stealing them off of Bandcamp or something like that. So yeah, hit me up, AR, hit me up, brother. I ain't holler at you in a minute, but a song called Motion, and you can check it out. He's got a SoundCloud page, AR Wesley, AR space WESLEY. It's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Really cool lyricist. He's got tons of songs, really cool shit. Check it out. And he's got a video on YouTube called Here I Go, which features the young Charlie Chow. He came out, he said, Ralph, man, you want to drive the car through a video? I was like, hell yeah, I do. So he had a video featuring the young Challenger. So that was awesome. Shout out to AR Wesley. It's a track called Motion, and it is produced by one of the baddest rappers, producers, performers in Milwaukee, Mike Regal. Hit me up too. Send me the tracks, man. I do want to feature them on my podcast. And I don't want to lose any sound quality, and I want the best of you to come out. Local stuff. They got a free show coming up at the Riverside Theater, man, and it's some interesting stuff because it's I believe it's sponsored by Pabst or something like that, and Miller Brewery. I'm looking at the page right now, and it's a Cheers to Milwaukee is the concert, or the party is called, and it's a free show, and it's a mystery artist. Okay, so it's pretty interesting, and it's at the Riverside Theater, and that's on June 9th. June 9th, 2017. It's a mystery band, and the way you get tickets is you can go to, okay, today it was gone. June 5th, you got Tuckaway Country Club from 12 to 5. You can get free tickets that way. Stenny's on June 6th from 8:30 to 10 p.m. You can get free tickets there. And then Moe's Irish Pub on June 6th from 5 to 7. And it's called Cheers to Milwaukee, and it's being sponsored by Miller Brewing Company. So, just go to their page on Facebook, or just look it up, Cheers to Milwaukee, and you can get all the information like that. Sound like something really cool to do, man. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to check it out. So I hope to see you there. Moving on, man. Like I told you, man, I think I got some really deep stuff to talk about today. Been going through some things in my life, and I'm not sure yet how personal, I will get with the information on this podcast. I'm gonna just do what I want to do and do what feels good, and try to work from there and let it form itself. But for those of you who don't know, I'm a big time Star Trek fan. Specifically, I'm into The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. And I was watching Deep Space Nine, and on the very first episode, the way to set up this thing is he's abducted by space aliens who don't live in the same space-time continuum. They don't view time the same way that we do. They kind of look at time like a piano board where all the notes are there right in your face, and you can go to any note you want at any time and that kind of thing. Whereas we, as humans, we live moment to moment. We go future only, and you can't go to the past, that kind of thing. And once you pass a moment, you never go. You can never go back to that moment. And he's trying to explain that to these aliens that he's abducted by. Captain Sisko, he's abducted by these aliens, and he's trying to explain the corporeal existence. People who born, live, die, moment to moment. And so one of the things that happened in the scene, I got a clip from it, and just check it out. And I want to discuss this clip from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
If all you say is true, why do you exist here? What is the point of bringing me back again to this?
We do not bring you here. You bring us here.
You exist here. Then give me the power to lead you somewhere else. Anywhere else.
We cannot give you what you deny yourself. Look for solutions from within, Commander.
Ooh. So what was happening in that scene is these aliens, they were able to go inside of his mind, and they were looking at all of his memories at once. And he kept, and they would just take the form of whoever was in the memory with him. So, when he was, when they went to a memory of him at his ship, it would be like his first officer would be speaking to him, but it would be one of the aliens speaking as the first officer, saying like, hey, what is this memory about? What happened here? And he's got memories with him and his son. And it's like, yo, why are you and your son having an adversarial relationship? And he's like, no, we're playing a sport. And in this sport, you have to go against each other and this, that, and the other. And so there's this one memory that he keeps returning back to. And it's the memory of him finding his wife dead. They both work for Starfleet, and in the middle of a battle, she was killed by, an awning or something like that fell on top of her, and he's standing over her, looking at her dead body. And they're saying like, yo, if you telling us that life as you know it goes moment to moment and you can't go in the past, why do you exist here? And he's like saying like, no, I don't exist here. This is a memory. This ain't, this ain't happening right now. And they're like, nah, you here, man. You exist here. And through the process of them trying to understand it, he understands something about himself, which is, hey, man, I never moved on from my wife's death. And here I am still existing in this moment. And, and it was like 5 or 6 years ago that it happened. And it's like, yo, how much of life have I missed because I continue to exist, in this moment? And I've seen that episode so many times, man. And a few days ago, it affected me in such a deep way because as you get older, you realize, man, there's some moments in my life where I was existing there and I didn't want to move. And, I got in trouble and I developed problems and health issues and things like that because I was existing in a moment that was gone. And there wasn't nothing I could do about it. There was no way for me to get that moment back. There was no way for me to change those moments. All I was doing was being a fool, holding on to something that was gone. And like I said, I'm not sure how, personal I'm going to get in these podcasts. But, I can say without going too deep that, yeah, man, I got some really wild stuff going on in my life right now. And a lot of changes that are taking effect immediately. And the one thing I said to myself this time is that, number one, I'm not finna live in this moment where everything is crazy and it looks like everything is breaking down and it looks like my life is never going to turn around. I'm not going to live in this moment longer than it exists. So that's the first thing. That's the one thing I know about this particular setback in my life, which is all the other stuff. You sit up and you grieve and you keep getting on and feeling about it. And I'm going to tell these motherfuckers and that's unfair. And hey, man, whatever. Fuck all that shit. I mean, this is life, dude. Steve Harvey on his show one time said, and I ain't a big time fan of Steve Harvey, but he does say some interesting stuff every now and again. And he said like, yo, life is like a dealer at a casino. Life gonna keep dealing you cards every day, every moment of your life. And it don't matter if you ready for it or not. The card's gonna keep turning. It's gonna keep turning. Age, birthday card gonna come every year. Whether you ready or not. Child, boom, gonna come on you whether you ready or not. Loss of family members, boom, gonna come at you whether you ready or not. So the fact of the matter is you got to keep moving. You got to keep dealing with the card that you got in front of you right now. Instead of like, yo, man, 4-5 cards ago, I could have had it and I could have did this. I could have been a contender, all that kind of shit. And so, I was like, yo, man, you know what?